says here we should work in teams. I tend to think of myself as a one-man wolf pack.
You are about to enter Information Overload, a worldwide transmission with Herp Herp Hooray's featured Breeder of the Week. Here's your host, Jason Rossi.
I would like to welcome you back to Herp Herp Hooray, a weekly worldwide transmission. I'm your host, Jason Rossi. We are simulcasting on RossiReptiles.com, Buzzsprout, and don't forget to subscribe and download us on iTunes. This week's featured breeder of the week is kind of new to the designer ball python morph business like us. Looking at his collection, you would not know it. He has some of the amazing animals for his foundation. I'm very pleased to announce this week's featured breeder of the week, Josh Harler from CapeFearConstrictors.com. Josh, welcome to Herp Herp Hooray.
Thanks, Jason. I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show.
No problem, man. Like I was saying, that's what it's about, getting people on here and getting their views and letting everybody hear it. So I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
So North Carolina, that brings back some memories. Hidden Treasure Inn, Wilmington Beach, Fort Fisher with the family. Doesn't get any better than that, man. You make me want to move back.
Oh, it's beautiful here. Love the weather.
They say nothing can be finer than to be in Carolina.
It's definitely a great place to live. Yeah, we moved here about 3 years ago, and I can't imagine living anywhere else now.
Well, being back north, it seems like our weather is getting more and more like North Carolina's. It's changing daily. It doesn't really, you can't really adjust what the day is going to do, just like down there.
Yeah, this year has been pretty crazy for weather. That's for sure.
All right, so I have to say, you have some of the best unboxing videos. We haven't had a snake shipped in quite a few years, man, so it's kind of nice seeing that. So we appreciate those.
Well, it's fun to do. When I was getting started, I just scoured YouTube for all the unboxing videos I could find, and I just loved them. So I figured, why not make my own and just contribute to that and give other people something to watch, something to enjoy.
Yeah, I can definitely see the progression from watching your first few to where you're at now. The camera, yeah, it's nice. Even the the angles and even just the tripod, how much that works. I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah, tripod is definitely indispensable especially if you're only one guy doing videos. Some of my videos, I just hold the camera, but I think you get better quality with tripod, so you don't have to worry about shaking this or anything like that. I try to focus on getting good quality in my videos because, nothing worse than a beautiful snake and a bad video.
Those would be mine with my phone camera. I'm sorry. So, looks like you built yourself a very nice facility. That's my goal someday, probably for most breeders it is. So why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I was fortunate to have a workshop area in my house when I got started. It used to be a woodworking shop. But when I got into the snakes and decided to do it as a business, I figured, I need to get serious and have an area designated explicitly for the snakes. So turned my woodworking shop into my snake room. It's climate controlled. I can control the temperature in there, and snakes are comfortable. I have plenty of room to expand, so it was definitely a good decision, and I'm very happy that I did it. Every day I go in there, and it's the perfect environment for me.
So do you use heat tape also, or just heat the room?
I do both. I heat the room right now. It's about 82 degrees in there, but each snake has a hot spot about 90, so try to give them some thermoregulation. During the breeding season, I cool it a little bit. The room, that is. I leave the hot spots where they are.
Okay, so what are your plans for your candy girl you got there? She's hot.
Oh, the candy. Well, I'm still debating that. I want to get into some dual recessive projects. So I have a yellow-belly pied male that I think is going to be one of the first males that I put with her. But I also, want to get into the codom stuff, so I have a killer bee. I'm actually considering trying to do a dual-sided clutch this season, but nothing's cemented yet. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with the controversy over that gene, the candy and the toffee.
Yes, you can go into it if you like. That's fine.
Yeah, when I purchased my girl, I got her last summer. Or no, not last summer, last spring. And the compatibility with the albino gene wasn't public information at that time, and I had no idea. When that came to light, at first I was pretty irritated because I had invested a significant amount of money into my female. And it seemed that the albino compatibility would definitely affect the value. But the more I thought about it, the less concerned I became. Like many other people, I see the albino mix as a separate project. So you got the pure candy and the pure toffee project, and then you have the Toffino and Candino project. I've decided to keep my candy project pure. I'm now going to be mixing albino with it, which, especially for the dual recessive projects, I think is vital because if you want to get into dual recessives, maybe Candy Clown or Candy Pied or something like that, you don't want to be dealing with a Toffino or Candino that has the albino gene mix in there because, you're not going to know what you have. You could have a double het candy or double het albino. I'm not saying double het albino would be a bad thing, but when you're trying to get for a candy, I don't think you really want the albino in there.
Because you wouldn't be able to tell which.
Oh, yeah, in the het form.
Can you?
Well, from what I've seen with the Toffinos, they seem to color up slower than the pure toffees. So in that way, I'm not sure how reliable that is yet because they're still relatively new on the market and not a whole lot of people have them yet. So I think more information on that will be coming out over the next couple years. But with the hets, it's impossible to know. I mean, you breed like my yellow belly pied, if I breed him to a Toffino, I don't know what I have. I know everyone's het pied, but I don't know which are going to be het candy or het albino. So as far as recessive projects, I think you want to stick with the pure genes.
Go with the 100%.
I'm sorry?
Go with the 100%, the sure thing, so there's no guesswork.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the Toffinos and the Candinos are going to be beautiful, even if they take longer to color up. But genetically speaking, the guarantee, I think, is worth the extra money that it's going to cost.
So I see we have related G-Stripe girls from Colin. They are beautiful, perfect little girls, aren't they?
Yeah. I think G-Stripes are incredibly underrated. They're beautiful. I have a perfectly striped female and a pastel G-Stripe male. And I also have a lesser het G-Stripe female that I'm looking forward to breeding with that pastel G-Stripe. Recently saw someone on ballpythons.net hatched a lesser G-Stripe, and it was gorgeous. I'm jealous. I'm looking forward to producing my own.
Yeah, I really dig the pastel lesser G's. They're definitely a way to go. So do you think that the pastel breaks up that stripe? Because I have a pastel G male, and it's kind of a broken stripe, too. Do you think it's the pastel breaking that up? Or?
Yeah, it could be. I haven't produced any G-Stripes myself yet, so I can't say conclusively. But yeah, the pastels that I've seen tend to have that same effect on their stripe. But I definitely can't say anything conclusively.
All right, but you can say something about the Hidden Gene Woma Pastel Granite. That thing's sick. What are you going to pair him with?
Oh, oh, that guy, yeah. I saw pictures of him from Chun, and when I got him, when I opened that bag, it was like, wow, much brighter and more intense in person. Definitely going to try for some Infernos this year, I think.
Right.
I've got a few adult yellow belly females, so he's got a date with them. If I can get him the size, that is. I mean, there's no guarantee with a 2012 male that he'll breed for me this season.
So you're going to dual sire with the Spark? Is that your plan on that?
Well, I've got the Spark, but I've also I'm still working on building up my collection. I need a lot of females.
Mm-hmm.
So I might try pairing some of the yellow bellies up with other genes to get holdback females. I just got an ultrasound a few weeks ago. I partnered with a friend of mine on that, and it turns out that one of my yellow belly females actually has decent-sized follicles. So I threw my Orange Dream male in with her earlier this week, hoping to get some Orange Dream yellow belly female holdback.
Yeah, I was reading that on your blog. That'd be pretty nice to be able to know when to throw them in and not waste the male, it being in there for no reason.
Yeah, last season was my first official breeding season, and it was a lot of guesswork. I tried palpating, but that takes a lot of experience to get decent at it. And the only girl I could actually feel any follicles on was my yellow belly that laid, and that was like 2 weeks before she laid. So I knew going into this season that I wanted to have less uncertainty, and the ultrasound is great. You see exactly where the female is in her follicular development, and definitely, I mean, we bought our ultrasound from Grant Whitmer from lavenderalbino.com, and he includes a video, a DVD with his ultrasound, and in there he's saying he breeds his females twice, and that's all they need. So you can definitely, only needing to pair up a male twice with a female, you can definitely stretch out your male further. But I'm more interested in just eliminating the uncertainty than stretching out my males. Because I've got really cool males, but I don't have enough females to stretch them out too far.
Yeah, we're the same way. Still growing slow. All right, well, you got to have it, and you do. You did it for all of us, man. You got the GHI ball. It's awesome. So what do you feel, man? How do you feel?
I'm psyched about that. The GHI, I wasn't a fan of Dark Morse until I saw some of the stuff coming out of that. Those combos, I mean, they're amazing. The lesser GHI, the Mojave GHI, the Super GHI, and I just heard that there has been the Coral Glow GHI was produced, so that's exciting. I can't wait to see pictures of that. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited about it. Can't wait to see all the incredible combinations that will come out this coming season, and hopefully I'll make a few of my own.
What is your one top female you want to put him with?
I have a Mojave Spider Het Hypo female that I definitely have allocated to him. I have a couple lesser girls that I might be pairing him with.
That pastel lesser female you have would be nice.
Yeah, she's pretty smoking. That would be cool. One thing I've discovered this season is with a lot of females, I don't have a lot, but even with a few dozen females, coming up with a breeding plan is hard work. There's all these awesome combinations I want to produce, but I don't have enough females to produce them all in one season. So I've got to decide which ones I want first and go from there, but it's definitely not easy.
You got to choose your battles.
Yeah, definitely.
So your website is outstanding, really, and I dig it. CapeFierceConstrictors.com. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? It's really nicely put together.
I appreciate that. Well, I mean, pretty much I just installed WordPerfect onto my my server and downloaded one of the default themes that they have and just started tweaking it, putting pictures up. And I definitely wanted something professional, but I didn't want to hire somebody to do it. So I spent a good couple months working on it before I launched it, and I think it's pretty well. I still not done. I need to automate some of the functionality of it, but that's won't make any difference to the to the viewer, the potential customers visiting my website. But sorry about that. I got
that can be edited out, no problemo.
Yeah. But my goal with the website was just to make something that was easy to use, and really just wanted to showcase my animals. I think they're all beautiful and wonderful, and wanted to be able to put some pictures up there and show off our collection. But yeah, just WordPerfect, Photoshop, and my camera, and a lot of tweaking and design work.
And lights. Don't forget the lights. I think I've seen perfect lighting in your room, so you got to have something going on there.
Yeah, we got the fluorescent lights, and they do a pretty good job of bringing out the true colors. And we have lots of light in there, so that's important too. I see a lot of pictures and a lot of videos people have poor lighting, and lighting really does make all the difference. You can do some editing and post-production and tweaking the photos a little bit, but if you don't have a good lighting setup, you're still not going to get great pictures.
So how was your season this year?
It was disappointing, to be honest with you. I had a little over a dozen females that were breeding size. Most of them were 2010 females, so they were still rather young. But I had hoped at least a couple of them would produce for me, but unfortunately none of my 2010 girls went on to produce. But that's okay. I wasn't really anticipating the 2012 season being a big one for us, unless those females went. I knew it was possible that they wouldn't.
Yeah, every year it's just grown for us. I mean, every year there's always something that goes wrong, it seems. Well, we're just starting out also, so we're just figuring it out too. But it's, a learning process. It takes a little bit of effort and luck, I'd say.
Yeah, you gotta, especially if, without the ultrasound, I had no idea where any of the females were in their cycle. So, I mean, it's possible that some of those girls could have went had I known the proper time to pair them up. Each female only saw a male about once a month, so it is what it is. I mean, my snakes are all healthy and happy, so that is the most important thing. But next season, I should have at least 20 or 30 clutches. So I'm really excited and looking forward to having my first really big season.
Awesome. Well, I've learned that you can't really gauge and predict what you're going to do because not everybody's going to do what you tell them to do. So it's kind of a hit or miss.
We're working with live animals here. They have a mind of their own. So all we can do is stop and hope they give us what we want.
So do you breed it? So do you vend any reptile shows?
Up till now, we haven't had enough to put on display, but I'm hoping that maybe next year we can do a couple of the local shows here. There's the Myrtle Beach Reptile Expo that took place this past August. Considering doing that one if our production warrants it.
Yeah, we're at the same, you just don't want to take just a handful of animals there. You want to be able to kind of show off, I guess.
Yeah, you want to have a variety, we only hatched one clutch this season, so having 5 snakes up for display wouldn't be very impressive, I don't think.
Yeah, but if they're sparks, people will want them.
That's true. That's true. Sparks are really nice. Really looking forward to seeing what happens in that project. With the spark being one of the few genes in the yellow belly complex that actually interact visually with other mutations that really stand out. It's interesting. It seems so far to behave similar to the fire gene when mixed with other combinations. Like the pastel spark looks an awful lot like a firefly. But it's hard to tell what it'll do with other genes because obviously it's not a fire. It interacts with the yellow belly way different. So excited to be in on that project and seeing what we can come up with.
See what you can figure out there in the future.
Yeah. You got the interaction with other genes, but then you mix those with the yellow belly, and you can get all sorts of different puma combinations. So I think the project's just getting started, really.
Just scratching the surface. So what's your favorite expo to attend and why?
Well, the only shows that I've attended have been local shows. I'm actually attending Tinley Park this season, this October, and I'm excited about that. But yeah, the Myrtle Beach show last year was really great. This year was a little smaller, but still a lot of fun. Still a lot of really cool animals on display and for sale. So get to meet a lot of really cool people and talk snakes. You can't really beat it, I don't think.
So the Myrtle Beach would be your favorite then?
So far.
What other ones you got down there? That's all I could attend to either is local shows. So what other shows you got down there besides Myrtle Beach?
Well, there's Repticon shows that happen. I believe there's one in Charlotte, one in Raleigh. There's some in South Carolina, but with life being as busy as it is, we have a hard time making it out to shows that are more than a couple hours away.
All right. So what do you feel that we, the herp heads out there, need to do, or not be doing for that matter, for these barrage of bills mounting against us? It's despicable. What do you think?
I think our biggest problem is just lack of education. People out there really don't know much about snakes. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I get asked, do you have any poisonous snakes? Whenever I'm talking about my collection and my business. I mean, we just need to be out there telling people that these are just, they're harmless. Especially like ball pythons and even the bigger ones. They're not dangerous animals if they're properly taken care of. I mean, dogs can be dangerous if they're improperly taken care of, as well as just about any decent-sized animal. But a lot of people grow up with irrational fears of snakes and reptiles, and that combined with people not really knowing anything about them leads to hysteria and unfounded fears. I think as reptile owners, we need to be out there showing people how awesome our snakes are and our reptiles, and just, they're nothing to be afraid of.
I'll tell you, man, we went out to the Labor Day parade here in our local little town, and the Girl Scouts put it on, and they asked us to set up there. That was an honor for them to do that because most people are afraid, but it's just amazing how many people were just surrounded by us all day. We were like one of the only places that were just packed with kids and families just standing around, and it is kind of funny to have mothers come up and ask when kids are sitting right there and I'm handing them to children and little babies are holding baby snakes, is that poisonous? It's like, you really think we'd be out here handling poisonous snakes? Like, yeah. Yes, they do it, but I'm not going to do it with little children and just amazing.
When I first told some family members about my my business, when I first started, my wife was pregnant for with our child, and I got asked, well, aren't you afraid they'll eat your baby? I mean, I just have to laugh at that. But, the reality is people just don't know. And if we don't, then they'll never know. I mean, I grew up with an irrational fear of snakes that was passed down to me by my mother, who has an irrational fear. It's something that we're taught because, my nieces and nephews are fascinated by snakes. There's no fear because it hasn't been taught. But, definitely education. But also we need to respect the public. You read about people taking their snakes out in public, taking them to the store with them, just walking down the street with them. I personally think that's a bit irresponsible, not only because it's stressful on the animals, but it's stressful on the public. People who are afraid of these animals, they're going to freak out if they see one. And, of course, we know that's silly, but to those people, it's a very real fear. And we need to respect that and try to teach them and expose them to it on their terms and not on ours.
My family's the same way, so it must be across the board, across the world, because my father, old country, Italy, is, you'll watch your 2-year-old baby around her, I'm like, Dad, it's not possible. My brother and mother, they don't even come to the house, They're really that afraid, and they won't let me bring a snake near them. I bring a baby snake to my brother, and he's moving out of the chair and running towards the door, and I'm like, come on, man, your kids are holding them, Same with my best, good friends, it's amazing.
I find it amusing when very large men are afraid of a little 1-foot snake.
Yeah, he's my little big brother, so yeah, it is a little odd. So, your YouTube channel, what's that for our listeners out there?
It is, let me find the URL. It's youtube.com/user/Cape Fear Constrictors. When I was deciding to get back into to the ball python market and everything, YouTube was a huge resource for me. I think I've watched through most of Ralph Davis's videos, all of Justin Cabelka's videos, and I learned so much through those videos, and just watching everybody's unboxing videos and collection videos and just seeing all these wonderful snakes in video format was awesome because when I first got into ball pythons, it was 10 years ago. YouTube didn't exist. All we had were photographs. So to have the video resources we have today, just awesome. And I wanted to contribute to that. I wanted to be able to put myself out there, put my animals out there, put my facility out there, show people how I do things, the animals I have, and just trying to interact with the community that way.
That's what we did, basically. Same thing, man. Ralph Davis, Jacob Belka, reptiles, anything that was on YouTube, basically. There's more now, but we were trying to find anything on ball python, hatchling, anything, pipping, sexing, you name it. We were probably watching the same videos, man.
Yeah. Well, when it came to cut my my clutch, I had cut for friends and that, but the first time I cut a clutch, I knew what I was doing because I had watched dozens of cutting videos. So it's definitely useful to have the information out there, but it's also it's very much entertainment as well. I love watching the videos from the smaller breeders, just seeing their excitement and their passion for their animals. It's wonderful. It gives me a lot of hope for the future of our industry and just a lot of fun.
All right. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add before we conclude this week's episode?
Well, we have not talked about the coral glow.
Oh, yeah. You went bananas, and you didn't talk about the coral glow. What are you doing?
Well, last year, I hadn't initially planned on investing in a male coral globe, but I had always loved all the combinations. Everything that came out of a coral globe was gold, if you ask me. And the opportunity to buy one came up, and I thought about it, and I figured it's a very big investment, but I think it would really put us on the map if we could produce some killer coral glow combinations. So I pulled the trigger, and I got him last September. I had him up to size, and he was breeding this past January, but unfortunately none of the females he was locking with actually produced eggs. So we totally bombed on that project in 2012, but I have a whole lot of plans for next year. So I'm really looking forward to producing with him.
That's awesome, man. So what is one key female, maybe two, that you have lined up, slated for him? You already know.
I definitely want to get some coral glow yellow belly in my collection with the sparks and all the really cool stuff yellow belly does. I'm really looking forward to getting a yellow belly coral glow. But a lot of the stuff, it's going to take years. I have a really great orange dream male that I'd love to combine with coral glow, but that's a few years down the road because I got to get females from my orange dream first. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with the coral glow. Anything you put it with is going to be great.
Yeah, one day, hopefully, I can add that to our collection. That's definitely on the list, but a little far out of reach right now, but I can see, like you said, a few years being a little more attainable for other people.
Yeah, that's sort of the double-edged sword of the ball python market is things do drop in price pretty quickly, but that does make things more accessible to more people. So, but yeah, definitely I would recommend anyone to buy one if they can, because every time I open that tub and take a look at them, I get a smile on my face. It's an amazing mutation, and just to have it in your collection is a fantastic feeling.
I'm sure you saw the Mike Wilbanks ball python video, and where he talked about if he waited on the spider gene, where he would have missed out on a lot of business, where getting that gene early is allowing you to, make a little money before everyone has it.
Yeah. I mean, definitely last year they were going for more than they are this year, but it's a risk, but I believe it will pay off. You definitely want to get into project as early as you can to maximize your investment from the investment standpoint. But it's not all about the money. The animals are fantastic, and you gotta love spending time with them. You gotta love cleaning up after them, and one thing I've found is it's not glamorous necessarily being a snake breeder. Most of the time I'm interacting with my snake, it's cleaning up after them, getting my hands dirty with snake poop. But at the end of the day, when you open that tub and see those snakes, see those incredible combinations, it's totally worth it.
You got to supply your needs first before you can supply other people's needs, and we want to keep everything cool, of course.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely got to work with what you love. Everybody says it, and it does ring true. If you're in it just for the money, you're going to fail. Without the passion, you're not going to be able to work through the less glamorous parts of it. Your collection will suffer, and that will reflect in what you have to offer. So definitely love the animals first, and then focus on the business. I was fortunate enough to have success in my day job to be able to, invest in the animals that I want, and hopefully go on to produce some really cool stuff. But I mean, even the simple bumblebee is still amazing in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm getting for $500 for a really nice bumblebee, but it's still an incredible combination.
So what is your day job, if you don't mind me asking?
I co-own a software company.
Nice.
It's pretty boring, but it does put food on the table and snakes in the rack. So I'm
what kind
actually
of software?
What's that?
What kind of software is it?
Well, the software works alongside online poker sites. Our website is pokertracker.com. Basically, online poker, I'm not sure how familiar you are with it. I'm sure there's some people listening that really don't know much about it. But when you play online poker, the site that you're playing on records information on each hand you play to your computer. So you can look back at each hand you play and see what other players were involved in the hand, what the bet amounts were, and so forth. What our software Poker Tracker does is it collects that information and stores it in a database, and then it displays a lot of different useful statistics for when you play. Poker is not gambling per se. It's more of a skill game with some incomplete information. So while there is luck involved in each individual hand over the long run, players who make smart decisions will come out on top of players who make poor decisions. And the goal of our software is to help players make the best decisions possible.
Oh man, you got it going on over there. That sounds quite nice.
It's a pretty good gig. I can't complain. It's done well for me. But the ball pythons is where my passion is. It's what I really wanted to do. It's what I wanted to do 10 years ago. I just didn't have the space or the resources to do it. But I'm happy to have the resources and an understanding wife.
Awesome, Josh. Well, I appreciate you taking time out and talking with us. It's been a great conversation. I appreciate it.
Well, hey, it's my pleasure.
All right, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Her Per Parade. Don't forget to subscribe and comment on iTunes. And as always, we're streaming live on herperparade.buzzsprout.com and rossyreptiles.com. Her Per Parade, out.